Hello, this is Joe Pryor, the virtual real estate team in Oklahoma City. This is video number 2 on small multifamily. Now, in the first video, we went into basically the definition of a duplex, how it can be done in terms of legal description, some of the advantages and cost in building. But I want to go into what I think are probably the 2 most important aspects of why our investors really do love duplexes. One of which is cash flow. Now, we talked about the efficiency of the builds, and we're talking about $130,000 or $150,000 a side property. And number one, it means that we're getting into the largest rental pool in Oklahoma City. And so we have a wide range of people that we can get in as tenants. And because of that, and because of the fact that rents compress on the low end of these types of rentals, then your cash flow is much greater than it is in a single family home. Now, I will say this, a single family home at this time appreciates a bit more, not as much as it used to, but from a cash flow point of view, it is much, much stronger in a duplex. Even with 25% down on a duplex versus 20% down on a single family. In other words, you're putting more money out of your own cash, and the cash on cash, which we measure is how much of your real money comes back, is still typically as much as 4% greater in your return in terms of your cash. And that is something that's opportunity. More cash flow, the more reinvestment you can do in real estate or possibly something else that really gives you a greater return on investment. Now, there is a second advantage to duplexes that we kind of found out by accident when we first started these. And that's been about, roughly 5 or 6 years ago when we really started seriously building more duplexes and selling them to investors in Oklahoma City. And that is the rental pool itself. Now, the one thing I just said, it's a large rental pool. The other thing is, what kind of rental pools do we have? And the answer is a lot of rental pools. So, first of all, we have people in large numbers that have, for the last 5 or 6 years, have moved out of apartment complexes, especially now with COVID-19, where they really want to have a little bit more of an isolation and a backyard. But that's the point of a duplex. We are getting a lot of apartment dwellers that still like the idea of a multifamily neighborhood, but want a little bit larger, a little bit nicer, a little bit better, and something that they have a backyard in, and they have a garage they can drive into. And so that's one of the rental pools. Now, the second rental pool is very large also, and those are senior citizens. Those are people that have sold their houses, that are large, they don't need any more, the kids are gone, and so what they want to do is bank that equity that they have in that fully paid for property and either rent or possibly buy them, but very often rent them because the rent's very, very reasonable and they have somebody taking care of the property. That's number 2. Number 3 is millennials. Millennials with roommates are renting these things in large numbers. Because of the locations that we have with these duplexes, they're close to downtown, close to the state capitol, close to the hospital district, close to shopping, offices. So we look at strategic areas for this, sometimes school districts, but what happens, we get medical students, we get doctor students, or nursing students, and so they're very, very much a strong constituency. And the other thing about duplexes is they're really not school driven as a rule, although they can be, and they are in a few areas, but mainly January through December, we get the same rents. And we get higher rents, $1.15 a square foot versus 90 to 94 cents a square foot. And it's year round. So those are the advantages I'd like to talk to you about with the duplexes. Stay tuned in video 3 for more information. This is Joe Pryor, the virtual real estate team, where we help you build your wealth investing in Oklahoma City real estate.